Hello everyone and welcome to the 4th episode of my Morytania only Ironman series. In the last episode we managed to get the silver bars needed for the Nature Spirit quest. This time we are going to drain the swamp by slaying all the ghasts in Morytania. In the name of Saradomin and Ghasts, we shall bring our crusade to the swamp and bring balance back to this tainted land. Ghasts are actually pretty sweet to kill because they give both herbs, fishing bait, as well as prayer experience. After getting 43 prayer, my next goal will be to do the Shades of Morton quest, which requires 15 herb lore, so the herbs certainly help in that regard. My progress is fairly slow when it comes to killing ghasts. Each ghast gives you about 30 prayer experience and takes about a minute to kill. This means that I would be able to kill a bit less than 60 ghasts per hour to begin with. In order to get to level 43 from my starting point, I would need to kill 1600 ghasts. Overall, grinding to level 43 prayer will take me about 27 hours of just slaying ghasts, that is not including banking and refilling my druid pouch to actually be able to kill them. Needless to say, I'm just going to show you the highlights, because this is going to be way too long for one video. First highlight coming up now, it's 27 prayer. That gives me access to mystic lore, which might be useful when I start training magic. And now for a nice even number, here comes 30 prayer. In order to break up the grind a bit, I come here and just murder the citizens for a while, so I can train up my melee stats in a fairly AFK manner. After killing a bunch of ghasts, I've decided to take a break and kill the loot skeleton for a bit, so in this clip you can see how much of a bother the spade is, and later you'll see how much of a bother the bat is. The drop I'm hoping for is the mithril plate legs, which I still haven't gotten from them. The ghasts are still damaging quite a lot at this point, so I need some more defense in order to be able to stay there for longer. And to be honest, killing these ghasts is fairly soul crushing, so anything to make my grind a bit easier would be amazing at this point. You know, I used to think this monk was an idiot because it was always surprised when I came back alive from the swamp. But after almost drowning in swamp water for so long, having my insides rotted out by a bunch of ghasts, as well as maintaining a strict diet consisting solely of moonshine, I think he's excused. I can imagine my character looking pretty much like a zombie at this point. I haven't been slacking in farming either, because here we go level 9 farming that will allow me to grow guams, which, if I can actually manage to get a seed, will be great for training herb lore. And now it's time for level 45 attack. At this point I have gotten a bunch of mithril scimitars and even a couple of more adamant kite shields, but unfortunately I have not gotten any mithril plate legs yet, so I think I'm just going to go back to the ghast grind for now. It's been seconds for you, but hours for me, but now there's time for another highlight. Here's level 7 herb lore. I thought Eye of Newts were supposed to be uncommon from these guys, but I am averaging about one every 150 kills or so. Maybe I'm just unlucky, but most of my herb lore XP has come from just cleaning the herbs. Oh, I just missed it, but here's level 50 attack. I also found this great spot for filling my druid's pouch. It contains 2 bushes and 3 branches, and the bushes gives you 3 charges for a druid pouch, while the branches gives you 2, which is better than the average Mort Myre fungi, which gives you 1. I've run back and forth so many times to recharge my prayer now that I've gotten a bunch of agility experience, so I actually gained level 16. I decided to just fill up my druid pouch as much as I could so that I could see the countdown of how many ghasts I have left. I'll also quickly show you my stats. As you can see, I have base 50 in the melee stats, as well as 36 prayer now. 36 prayer is only about a halfway point to level 43 prayer for the elusive protection from melee, so I still have a long way to go. The master of missing level ups is back. I am now level 37 prayer, which gives me access to protect from magic. Just look at that beautiful, my first overhead. Now I just need to get the 2 last ones. And here's level 9 herb lore. In the middle of killing Ghasts, I also got my first classroom random event, which is going straight into Hunter. This gives me 15 more Hunter experience, which brings my total up to 25 Hunter experience. Only thousands of books to go. Yay. And here comes level 40 prayer, only 3 levels to go. This grants me access to protection from missiles, which won't be nearly as useful as protection from melee, but it's something I guess. Since I really needed a break from Ghasts at this point, I decided to do some mining. And I'm just going to quickly show you the route I need to take in order to mine iron on this account. My closest bank to the abandoned mine is the Canifus bank. So I need to trek all the way through Mort Myre to the abandoned mine, down a bunch of weirdly located ladders, past a dangerous minecart, and finally down the elevator before I arrive at the place I can mine iron. And then after filling up my entire inventory, I need to walk all the way back through Mort Myre to bank at Canifus. As I said in the last episode, I'm going to need level 34 smithing in order to be able to do the In Aid of the Myre key quest. Mining the materials needed for level 34 smithing is going to take a long time. The worst part about this is I don't really know how much iron ore I need, but assuming the 50% chance evens out, I'm going to need about 1000 iron ore for this. I timed one of these trips and it takes me about 13 minutes to complete a full round trip, which means it should take me a bit less than 8 hours in order to complete this. All in all, not that bad of a grind compared to the ghast grind. And then I decided to take a break from my ghast killing break and do some smithing. So here's level 15 smithing, which means I can finally smelt and smith the iron ore I am actually mining. But I am probably going to wait a long time before I finish the smithing grind, since I need to both get level 43 prayer and level 15 herblore before I even need it. Continuing my trend of procrastination, I decided to kill a bunch of chickens, chop a bunch of trees and make some bronze arrows. There's not really any reason for me doing this right now, but I'm going to need level 25 fletching in order to be able to complete Ghasts Ahoy for the ectophile. It might be weird to you to see all these clips not including any ghast slaying at all, while I am supposedly going to get level 43 prayer rather quickly. However, I am killing ghasts in between these clips, so I'm not slacking off. I'm just getting quite burned out on ghasts, to be honest. So I am here killing tormented souls instead to do my slayer task, which I got a long while ago. Hopefully I'll also be able to get a couple of herb seeds so I can plant something and get my herblore grind going a bit faster. Here's level 5 Slayer, which means I can kill crawling hands now. I got a useful seed actually, a Morytania seed. That's so nice. These guys don't really drop that many seeds as far as I've seen, but I haven't really killed them for long, so who knows. And here's level 15 Slayer, so now I can actually kill banshees. And my Slayer task is complete. I got level 17 Slayer from that, as well as level 54 hit points. I also got a Quarm seed and a Limpwort seed, which will help me out a bit later on when I manage to get my farming level up. I'm on the home stretch for killing ghasts now, and I have about 200 left. I unfortunately managed to waste quite a few charges, but they take no time to get, so it's not really that bad. But here is level 60 strength, and now I'm just going to rush the end of this. And finally I have done it. Level 43 prayer. The worst part of this grind wasn't really that it took long, it was that I didn't really have much to look forward to. The most interesting drops they have is the Eye of Newt, which isn't really that interesting to be honest. Level 43 prayer is very worth it however. Since Morytania is filled to the brim with aggressive monsters, this is going to make it a whole lot simpler to move around and kill a bunch of monsters. Before I end off for this time, I have another highlight, that is level 14 farming, which allows me to grow Morytanias. So let's just plant this bad boy and look at that, all super composted and ready to go. Now let's just hope it survives until the next episode. Next episode we will try to get level 15 herblore to begin Shades of Morton. thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe if you would like to see more. There probably won't be that long until the next episode now, so I hope to see you again very soon.